Hey guys, I am Boaz. I teach mathematics and physics. I teach actuarial models. I teach students that are taking quantitative analysis and quantitative techniques. I mentor students both online platform from German, like I have one in German, Mari, South Africa, in St. Stephen's College, people like Kcse. I have some in Saudi Arabia. I have some in the United States, like Joseph, who is my student. He is in University of Minnesota. I mentor him in computer science mathematics models. So we do normally conduct conferences here in Nairobi for the middle school, the high school, campus students, and even for the parents. So it has been very beneficial across, because this is now an international channel. It's an international program. So you can subscribe to our channel. Our channel is called Disneyland International. So just search the name Disneyland International, or you can search my name, Teacher Boaz. Then make sure that you subscribe. It will help your child, it will help you the mid-level, and even preparation for your exams. And I would also say thanks to Jalango TV. Jalango is the one who is organizing all these that I present to reach hundreds of thousands, because he has the deep feeling in helping the young people reach their dreams. So this Jalango TV channel is not only for others, but it's now a general channel that captures and attracting thousands of teenagers. So all students, please subscribe to Jalango TV channel as well, so that we may learn more and become great people. So I have some questions here that I was given by some of my students across the globe, and I'll be discussing with you today. The questions were coming from exponential functions and basically indices. And when I say indices, if you have a function like f of x is a power x, so this is an index. That's an index. Then you know very well, if in any case you have a power x is equal to a power k, so we normally say that x is equal to k. Because if the bases are the same, we equate the index. So let me go through the questions I was given by these students. However, how easy some of them are, I'll just take us through. If somebody provides, there was a question somebody had given me 4 times, it was 4 power 2x plus 1 was supposed to be equal to a half. I'll be going through each question at a time and taking you through. Now, just as I always teach you, you must always go back to the basics whenever you want to solve any problem. Number one, what did I teach you? When you have a fraction, you can write it as a negative power. So here, the first thing you need to know, our 4 is like 2 squared. Remember, 2 is a power of 2. So into the power that was originally there is equal to, this half can be written 2 raised to negative 1. Because I taught you by basics, 1 over a can be written to be a raised to negative 1. Then the moment the bases are equal, we equate the indices. So you take this power, 2 into 2x plus 1, you equate to negative 1. Then you open the bracket by distributive property. These two will multiply that and that. So we get here 4x plus 2, because the 2 has to multiply everything, equal to be negative 1. Then you collect the like terms. We are going to have our 4x equals minus 3. Remember, when you have a plus here, you do what is called subtractive inverse. We minus 2 both sides. Then we divide both sides by 4 and by 4. Now our x becoming negative 3 over 4. So remember how we have gone through. First of all, you have to go back to the basics. That is one of the questions that was given. Another question that they had asked me over here, the question says it was 1 over 3 into, we had 2 minus x equated to be 9. Now, when you get such a question, how do you go about it? You change all the fractions to negative power. That is the first step that you need to do as a student. So we are going to write 3 here to be raised to negative 1 into 2 minus x. I'm applying this rule here, that when you have a fraction, this a is like a power 1, then the power turning to be a negative. Then equate to, our 9 can be written to be 3 times 3, which is 3 squared. Then the moment bases are equal, we equate the indices. So let's open the bracket. Negative 2, negative times this negative x becoming plus x equals to the power 2. Then we collect the like terms. My x becoming 4. Because having minus 2, I add to both sides by additive inverse. So my x becoming to be 4. Another question, because I have quite a number of questions that students normally share with me online. There's another question here that comes. We have 5 times 2 power x. 5 times 2 power x was supposed to be equated to be 40. Now the question is, how do we go about it? Number 1, remember there is a number that multiplies an index. This is raised to power x equal to 40. So the first step you should always do, divide both sides by that number that multiplies it. So 5 will go. Then we are going to remain with our 2 power x becomes 40 divided by 5 is supposed to be 8. Then 8, you can prime factorize 8. Remember, if you write 8 here, 2 goes into 8 4 times, 2 goes into 4 twice, then 2 goes into 2 once. So instead of writing 2 power x, we are going to write 2 power x equals 1, 2, 3 is going to be 2 power 3. The moment you've made sure that your bases are the same, you equate the indices. So our x becoming 3. So x being 3 is the solution in this case. Are we good up to that point? Another question that was asked by the student, because I normally bring them together, there's a question here that says a times 5 power n, a times 5 power n was supposed to be equal to 150. The next part, and a times 10 power n was supposed to be equated to be 600. Then you are supposed to find a and n. Now they wanted you to find a and n. How do we go about it? Because I know in maths, there is a step that a student should follow. There is a procedure. Then you definitely need to know if a times something, like somebody can come and tell you, let me say y times 5 is equal to 60. How do you always find your y? You divide both sides by 5. So that 5 will cancel, your y becoming 12, just because of doing the division. The same thing I want you to apply here. Now when I take the first part, my a, because I want to make a the subject, I can come and say my a is the same as 150 over 5 power n. I'm dividing by 5 power n both sides. So it cancels here. That is like our first equation here. And our second equation, we can also get our a becomes 600 all over 10 power n, right? The moment you know a, these two a are the same. Now, since you know that a is supposed to be equal to a, what are we supposed to be equating? We can take this 150 over 5n, we can equate it to be 600 over 10 power n. Then the moment we have it this way, we can cross multiply. We can come and say, allow me subdivide here. So we are going to have 150 times 10 power n, remember I'm cross multiplying, should be equal to 5n times 600. Then we can divide both sides by 150 with the common factor that can divide both. The 150 can cancel out. Then your 10 power n becomes 5 power n times, remember 150 goes here 4 times. Then the moment you have the 10 power n is the same as 5 power n times 4 power 1. How are we supposed to find this n? That is a little bit looking tricky, but is not that difficult. I will break it down and explain to you each and every part. Now you have reached this step. Then you see this 10. Did you remember the theorem that said if you have a power n power m, if the a is raised to power n, everything raised to power n can be written to be a power m power n. The power can interchange. Just like somebody putting 2 squared cubed is like 2 cubed square. Remember 2 squared is 4. 4 cubed means 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. What if we say 2 cubed? 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. 8 squared is still 64. Don't you see now my law, the rule here, the mathematics axiom now is applicable here. So by using that theorem, I like showing you the basics so you see how things are coming. This was supposed to be n. Now by coming here, our 10 power n, how do we rewrite 10 in terms of the 4 and 5? We know that if we write 10 can be written to be 5 times 2. So here we can write 5 times 2. Remember it was the 10 raised to power n. So we are going to equate it here to be 5 power n times our 4 we can write to be 2 squared. Then the moment the whole 10 was to power n means each of the individual numbers inside should be raised to power n. So what you are supposed to do, you can come and rewrite it 5 power n times 2 power n is supposed to be 5 power n times 2 squared. You see that? Now we have just expanded this, that 5 to the power n times 2 to the power n is equal to 5 to power n times 2 squared. But remember both sides we have 5 power n. So we can divide both sides by 5 power n. So 5 power n will go, 5 power n will go. Then if you move down, your 2 to the power n is supposed to be 2 squared. Remember when the bases are equal, we equate the indices. So our n becoming 2. So the value of n is supposed to be 2. How do we find other values? Now we knew very well a was supposed to be 150 over 5 power n. So for me to find my a, I can come and take the 150. I divide by 5 power n, but n was 2. So it should be 5 squared. 5 to the power squared is 25. 25 goes into 156 times. So my a becoming 6. So our solutions now comes, our a now from my working is supposed to be 6 and my n is supposed to be 2. You can pause your video at that point and see what we are supposed to do, right? So our a is 6 and our n is supposed to be 2. Can we substitute and see how it works? Allow me rub these lower workings here. We want to test, does it really come to those values? If a is 6, so let us confirm here, 6 times 5 power n and our n is 2 is like 6 times 5 squared 25, which is 150. That was true. Let us test here. A is 6 times 10 power n. Our n is 2, which is 6 times 100 giving 600. You can clearly now see that it is 600 like here. So that's how we work about it. Now, the next question that was here was testing find b and t. Find b and t. I'm walking you very closely. So we have b times 2 power t was supposed to be 8. Another one, b times 6 power t was supposed to be 1944. Now that was the question. How do we go about it? I want to walk you very, very closely. The first step that we had already agreed, if you have any number multiplying an indices, you divide through. So we are going to divide through by 2t. Now my b becomes 8 over 2 power t. And my b here becomes 1944 divided by 6 power t. I'm simply dividing both sides by this. So b's remain alone. So the moment you see b and b's are the same, you can come and say if b is supposed to be equal to b, then we need to equate these two. You can come and say that your 8 over 2 power t becomes 1944 divided by 60. Then from here, what are we supposed to do? We can cross multiply. So let me have a page here. So 8 times 6 power t is equal to 2 power t times 1944. This question I was given from German. There was a student in German who gave them to me. So we can divide by the smaller number, which is 8, The 8 will cancel out. Then your 6t becomes 8 goes here 1, 8 goes into 19 twice, giving you 16. Remainder 3 into 34, it goes 4 times, giving you 32. Remainder 2 into 24, it goes 3 times. So here is the same as 2 power t times 243. Then we try to figure out what can we do in this case. Is there a way we can rewrite our 243? Let's try factor it out. 3 goes here 81. 3 goes here 27. 3 goes here 9. 3 goes here 3. Then lastly 3 goes into 3 ones. So I can rewrite here to be 6 power t is equal to 2 power t times, instead of writing 243, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 3 power 5. Then this 6, we have to rewrite it in the form of 2 and 3. Remember, 6 is 2 times 3. Then you put in bracket, the 6 on itself was raised to power t. That's why I'm raising everything. Equals 2t times 3 power 5. And remember, whatever inside should take the same power t. So we are going to have 2 to the power t times 3 to the power t becomes to the 2 power t times 3 to the power 5. Then you can divide both sides by something common, just like you do your ordinary algebra. 2 to the power t will go, 2 to the power t will go. So I'm going to have the 3 to the power t should be equal to 3 to the power 5. And I said when bases are equal, you equate the indices. Since the bases are the same, our t becoming 5. Now in your working, you already know t is supposed to be 5. What about b? But we already know our b was supposed to be 8 over 2 power t. So our b can become 8 over 2 raised to the power t, and my t is 5. 2 to the power 5. Now b becomes 8 over 2 power 5 is equal to 32, which simplifies to be quarter. Now our b becoming 1 over 4. Can we prove here and see, does it make sense? Let me rub here and prove if it makes sense. So at this point, we had already agreed that our b times 2 power t is 8. If b is a quarter, so quarter times 2 power t, and my t is 5, is it really 8? So quarter times 2 power 5 is 32. 4 goes here 1, 4 goes here 8, so it is true. Let's prove for the next case. If b is a quarter times 6 power t, and my t is 5. So what is a quarter times, what is 6 power 5? 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. You can now do that one maybe with the calculator if you have. You can take your 6 power 5, 6 to the power 5, becoming, this is now a quarter times 7,776. If you take a quarter of that, you get it 1,944. From your end, you can pause the video and use your calculator to test. So that's how we work out such problems. Then we continue with this problem here. We have 9 to the power x minus 4 times 3 to the power x minus 5 equal to 0. So as a math student, you have to read the question twice and allow your subconscious mind to help you remember what you're supposed to do. Now, first thing you learned in indices, that whenever you solve them, you must express each of the term into the least base, the least factor. For example, our 9 can be written to be 3 powers 2. So we had already x, so we had 3 power 2x minus 4 times 3 to the power x minus 5 equal to 0. I'm walking you step by step. Remember, in a mathematics is not an answer. You have to walk your examiner baby steps, leading them one stage to the other. Now, by doing this, then what you should remember if you are the one doing this exam, I think this question was given to me by one of my students in German under the indices. Do you remember if you have a power x, power y, can be written to be a power xy, which can also be written to be a power y, then x outside? These are very important identity that will help you as a student get it right. So you will come and say, this 3 power 2x you can write to be 3x squared minus 4 times to be 3 power x minus 5 equal to 0. That's one of the steps that you need to remember. Then you come and say, let the 3 power x be equal to y. Remember, in many times I teach you guys maths, whatever you don't know in mathematics, you let it be a certain letter. Then here you come and say, now it is supposed to be y squared minus 4 times y minus 5 equals 0. Now from the indices, it is now leading you to a form of that nature, which you need to know. It is in the quadratic form, which is always ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Now it means if you are good in indices, now you've generated a quadratic. If you did not like the quadratic, then you don't get it well. Remember, the curriculums across the world, from international baccalaureate, Cambridge system, locals, whatever, they're spiraled. Spiraled in the sense that one mapping to another concept. And remember, whenever you have a quadratic, you are taught that for you to get x should be minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So in every step, I'm not just guiding you to get this question right. To those my students from German who had already posted this, please remember you show every step. Like here you are showing, this is like a method. You are guiding your examiner. You are telling them every stage what you are doing in every part. Are we good? Now, the moment you knew very well that your equation was supposed to be y squared minus 4y minus 5 equal to 0, which is in the form of the ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now the coefficient of y squared is 1. So my a is like 1, my b is negative 4, and my c is supposed to be negative 5. You identify each element that correlates. Then you go back to the quadratic formula that says when you want to find x, it's minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by twice a. Are we good up to that point? Then the b is minus, so minus minus becoming now plus 4 plus minus square root b squared, negative 4 squared is 16. You write 16 minus 4ac. 4 times 1 times that, you get negative 20, which now makes it a positive. Divide by twice a. So this one provides 4 plus minus square root of 36 is 6. Then we divide by 2. Then you start with the positive. The 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So the first value of y is supposed to be 5. The next value, 4 take away 6 is minus 2. Minus 2 divided by 2 is minus 1. And remember, these are not the solutions you are expected to get. They wanted you to get the value of x, yet you are now finding y. But you go back to your working so well and see, you had already let. Whenever you see 3x is like y. So you come and write, if 3x was equal to y, and one of the values of y is 5. The other case, the 3x is supposed to be the other value of y, which is 1. Then you need also to remember changing from index notation to logarithmic notation. Now what you are supposed to do, you can take logs both sides. You take the log of the 3 power x becoming 5. But remember what I taught you, the jumping rule, which is a property in logarithms. The power comes behind times the log of 3. But we all know the log of 3 is 0.4771. The log of 5 should be 0.6990. Then we divide through by the coefficient of x. We divide through by 0.4771. Then your x becomes the division of those two decimals. So what do you learn? Anytime you solve or work out any question, it may have two different topics within the same context. So it's upon the student to think and break it down from every stage. So guys, you can watch our channel. I also am very grateful for Jalango TV channel, who is airing this program to hundreds of thousands of teens. So Jalango channel is no longer for only the adults, but all the teens, you are welcome. All the students from Cambridge to international schools, local schools, we are teaching you all these concepts. And you can subscribe as well. So subscribe also to my channel. My channel is called Disneyland International. Disneyland International. Or you can just search me by my name, Teacher Boaz. You will find me in the YouTube channel. And you can contact me 0720-814-222. I've been contacted. I have so many mentees. In German, I have Marie. In Lons Friends Schule, I have one in St. Stephen's College in South Africa, Kcse. I have another student in Saudi Arabia. I have one in the United States, in the University of Minnesota, Joseph. Welcome to this channel. Share with your friends in the United States. I have my friends in Beijing, my friend Steven. Share this with your students in Beijing, in China. I know in that city you are about 25 million in Beijing city. So please share my contacts, share my channel. And even to the Kenyans, we do normally conduct conferences with the young people, the teens, the students, even the university students. We mentor them. We meet within the setup of Nairobi. You can subscribe to our channel and follow through. Contact me. We do normally arrange, it has been very productive to the students. Welcome to the world of mathematics.